Wyatt, and I researched how a person's ambition can destroy another person's life.
Hi, my name is Shauna Bowie, and I researched how people feign ignorance as a manipulation tactic.
Hi, I'm Brandon Chang. I researched the stages of grief and how it affects an individual after a loved one's death.
Hi, I'm Josh Hessel, and I'm researching how a comic individual acts and how they affect the scene.
Hi, my name is Toby, and I researched about how a killer's behavior can connect to psychopathic traits.
My name is Jacob Mills, and my research is on how music affects the audience's emotions.
Mary, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance. Hi guys, I'm playing the porter, who's the comic individual who relieves the tension from the previous scene where Duncan is murdered. I think his goal is to be absurd and to be funny. He's not crazy or drunk like most people portray him, but rather trying to be funny and trying to lighten the mood. Him as a person is absurd, and based on my research, the comic individual's goal is to be funny and to be absurd. So I'm going to try to act calm and collected, but tell the joke in a calm, mannerly way. Because I don't think he's drunk or crazy or extra loud. I think he's actually a calm person who's just trying to get a joke out.
Like Josh said, the porter's goal is to make the audience laugh, right? So the music back in the porter scene should be upbeat and playful, relieving the tension from the previous scene. To conclude, this is how our research will affect our scene.
In the performance, you play the porter, but you also play Lady Macbeth.
Yeah, that's true. In this scene, I do play Lady Macbeth.
I researched that confronted people often show natural signs of being manipulative. It's also called feigning ignorance. Feigning ignorance is basically when you are faking not knowing something you are totally guilty of.
That's an interesting concept. Let me read these lines. Whoa, alas, what, in our house?
Based on research, I believe that Shakespeare intended for that scene to have Lady Macbeth act very obvious and deceitful, to emphasize her guilt.
So, what do you think I could change to make it sound better?
Articulate your voice more and have her have her seem very, very obvious and have her almost terribly acting, and it will have all the other actors be more oblivious to the situation.
Mm-hmm. So like, whoa, alas, what, in our house? Do you think that portrayed the obviousness?
Yes, I think that works.
Hello, my name is Tweety Fan, and I research about a murderer's behaviors and how it connects to psychopathic traits.
Hello, I'm Rebecca Wyatt, and I researched how one person's ambition can cause destruction in another person's life.
And both of our research pertains to Lady Macbeth, especially once the camera is not focused on her, so it's more about her expressions. And you research about ambition, right? So is that a good or bad thing?
Ambition would be a bad thing because once someone realizes that they can achieve one thing, they won't stop until they have achieved more like a life goal.
And what are the characteristics of a murderer with psychopathic traits is that they seem to have unrealistic life goals.
They do have unrealistic life.
Like, would you say winning their crown is really unrealistic?
Yes, especially with no blood ties to the king or royal family.
Yeah, and the king is just there's already a king and
a heir. Yeah.
Yeah, and she was basing all this off a prophecy that she really never heard herself. Mm-hmm. And it was her husband who heard it from 3 seemingly unreliable witches too. Mm-hmm. So it was really unrealistic. But she was still really determined about it.
Yes.
And I feel like she's also determined because she lacks guilt and or remorse, and that's another trait. Like, it's another psychopathic trait for a murderer. And that just makes her super determined, right?
Yes.
And so how do you think she should act?
Well, specifically when the camera's not focused on her, we would see her with a glint of confidence in her eyes, as though if she was ready to pounce. If anyone were to get in her way, she wouldn't stop.
So that's the general, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think
Yes.
specifically?
Specifically, it would be something like pursed lips, furrowed eyebrows, like she's always thinking.
She's always planning, always determined to get away.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Brandon, and I research the stages of grief, also known as DAG. Denial, anger, and bargain.
So who does denial pertain to?
So denial can pertain to Macbeth, who finds the body. Instead of just being shocked, he should like deny the fact that he's actually dead, like refusing to believe it.
Anger?
So anger can pertain to all the nobles that like find out that he's dead in the scene, like wanting to find out who killed Duncan and like determined to find out who did it, but also like angry at the fact that Duncan is dead. Maybe angry at the people there or just Duncan himself because he like left behind a whole country.
So that's for Lennox and Bingo and all those, right?
Yes.
And the last one?
The last one, bargain, is like asking like what if questions, like what if this didn't happen, like if Duncan would still be alive. So that can pertain to Malcolm and Donalbain, the sons of Duncan, because that can like they're like questioning like why like that happened. So like they left for England and Ireland, yeah.
And how do you say that they should act?
They should like be upset and depressed, but also like questioning why he's dead and like how did it happen.
So overall, you're saying that practically all the nobles should be more overdramatic.
Yeah, they should be like more overdramatic and like have more feelings, anger and depression, rather than just being shocked and accepting it.
Knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Here's a farmer indeed who hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time, have napkins to ennow about you. Here you'll sweat for it. Knock, knock! Who's there in the other devil's name? Faith, here's an equivocator who could swear in both scales against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake, yet could not equivocate himself to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Faith, here's an English tailor come hither for stealing out of a French hose. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we were carousing till the second hour. And drink, sir, it's a great provoker of three things.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Mary, sir, nose, painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovokes. It provokes a desire, but it takes away the performance.
I believe that drink gave thee lie last night. Is thy master stirring? Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, noble thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I've almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him. This is the door.
Goes the king hence today?
He does.
Laminating, heard I the air's strange screams of death, and prophesying with accents terrible, a dire of combustion and confused events, anew hatched to the woeful times. The obscure bird clamored to the long-lived night. The earth was fevers and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
Oh, horror, horror, horror! Tongue nor heart cannot conceive, nor name thee. How can this happen? What's the matter? Confusion hath now made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broken open the Lord's anointed temple, and stole thence the life of the Lord.
What does he say? The life?
You mean His Majesty?
See and then speak for yourselves.
Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell!
Murder and treason! Banquo and Donalbain! Malcolm! Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look at death itself. Up, up, and see the great doom's image! Malcolm! Banquo! As from your graves, rise up and walk like sprites, to countenance this horror. Ring the bell!
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley? Speak! Speak!
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear of murder.
Oh, Banquo, Banquo, our royal master is murdered.
Woo, alas, what? In our house?
Dear Duck, I prithee, contradict thyself and say it is not so.
There's nothing serious in mortality. Renown and grace is dead.
What is this?
Nor I do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's murdered.
Oh, by whom? How did this happen?
Those of his chamber had seemed to have done it.
Their hands and faces were badged in blood. So were their daggers, which we found wiped upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted.
They were never to be trusted with a man's life.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood. His gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature. And there, the murderers, steeped in blood, their daggers unmanly breached with gore. Who could refrain?
Help me, Anton!
Look to the lady!
Why do we hold our tongue that most may blame us? What should be spoken here, where our fate, hidden auger hole, may rush and seize? Let us away, our tears have not yet fallen, not our strong sorrow.
And when we have our naked frailties hid, that suffer an exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work. To know it further, fear and scruple shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense, I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
I do. I am deeply saddened, but let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office. I'll to England, to Ireland our separated fortunes shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers and men's smiles. The nearer in blood, the nearer in blood. Our safest way is to avoid the egg. Therefore, to horse. There's warrant in that theft which steals itself when there's no mercy left.